For our social studies campaign, we decided to focus on the LGBT problems in Tec de Monterrey, specifically in our campus. We decided to go for the problems faced by the LGBT community because, well, some of the members in our group, myself included, do identify as LGBT and we actually do experience these problems firsthand. So we thought that it would be very helpful if the problem we analyzed was something that we actually had experienced. And, well, furthermore, we thought that there is still a lot of prejudice and there are still a lot of microaggressions going on in our campus despite our school's attempts to make everything progressive and inclusive. There's still a lot of people using slurs, there's still a lot of people being, well, being discriminatory and sometimes without even knowing that they're being discriminatory. And that is why we chose this very specific campaign, because we thought that we could actually make a difference here and, well, improve the lives of the LGBT people that attend the school.
Historically, we can see that there have been many events that have led to the discrimination of the LGBT community. For example, one of the most deeply rooted antecedents of sexual discrimination was established by St. Thomas Aquinas, who argued that the only correct end of sexuality is procreation, qualifying homosexuality as the greatest manifestation of lust. Hence, people who consider procreation as the primary objective of sexuality and who consider sexual pleasure as a sin reject homosexuals in principle and promote rejection in their families and communities.
Mental health is a fundamental part of the well-being of a human and can be affected by different social factors, this one being discrimination. The people of the LGBT community who have suffered this type of discrimination can suffer mental disorders, risk of alcoholism, the thoughts of suicide, and, well, the people who have attempted. Low acceptance of LGBT people put them at risk of discrimination. And in Mexico, between 2014 and 2016, more than 100 trans women, transgender individuals, transsexuals, and transvestis were killed in Mexico.
A lot has been done through the years, but this is still a problem we are facing. Our social campaign is called iridiscencia or iridescence, which refers to the optical phenomenon when the tone of the light changes, forming a rainbow, so it mainly refers to the LGBT flag and as well it represents change. Our only social media used for the campaign was Instagram. When you log into your account and visit our profile, you can see in our bio that we are an account dedicated to campaigning for the recognition of the LGBT community rights in Prepatec CCM. When you scroll down our profile, you can see it is full of images with quotes, drawings, and pride events, as well as the interviews we made in which we questioned people from the tech community about their sexual orientation and about discrimination towards the LGBT community inside school and how they felt about this situation. We got around 652 followers and around 1,338 profile visits in the last 7 days, reaching an impressive 16,143 people, much more than we estimated, to be honest. Another thing that impressed us as well was that we have followers around the world, mainly from Mexico, but USA, Brazil, United Kingdom, and Indian followers are present too. The age range from our followers is mainly from 18 to 24, and 65% of them are women, while the other 35% are men. Apart from just posting positive quotes, we decided to include some hard things to create much more awareness, like the news where Mexico is located at the second place of homophobic countries around the world. And And well, we posted some of the interviews we made with people from tech community. Not all of them, 'cause some asked like to be anonymous. And finally, something that we did was that we were in touch with some other LGBT awareness Instagram accounts. We asked them what were their ideas or what were their like strategies and methodologies to spread their information in order for us to spread our information at our posts and as well in our interviews.
I learned that people are conscious of the nicknames they use but aren't willing to make a change or stop using them.
Um, well, I personally learned that while yes, there's a lot of people who aren't really willing to change, there's still a lot of people who are just ignorant of the fact that a lot of their actions hurt us. Therefore, I think that the most important thing I took away from this project is that we can actually make a change just by educating people.
With this project, I realized that even though a lot of people are conscious of the words they said, they still say it because they fear to lose their identity of a woman or being a man.
Okay, so what I learned with this project is that besides being discrimination to the LGBT community from others, there is also discrimination inside the LGBT community by people from the LGBT community, because they are trying to decide what qualifies people as LGBT enough and deciding if their discrimination is valid or not. So I think that the community sometimes forgets that the change we need comes from the outside, because we can just fight this problem from the inside.
What I learned about this campaign is that there are people that are conscious about this and they enjoy it more because they know the damage they are making to this LGBT community, and they make it even worse, so it hurts more to these people.
Okay, so well, there were several things we found that were actually really, pretty well made in our project. But there were also some, areas of opportunity, some things we could have done better. Like, for example, talking about the good things, I really liked the interviews, right?
Yes.
Like, we actually felt like we were directly changing the way
Yes.
people thought.
Creating consciousness.
Yeah, and like we liked that, and we liked the specific focus of our project because, I mean, if you try to, like, for example, last semester I personally was like battling climate change in China, and well, you're not gonna do much of a difference there, but you can actually change things in our school, right?
Yes. But I think, on the other hand, that we should have put a person that would make the role of each member of the team specific.
Yeah, like a sort of leader,
Yes.
right? Because it's a very complicated work. It has a lot of things to it. It's not just post stuff on social media. It's interview people. It's research. It's answer the questions. It's you have to do a bunch of stuff, and keeping everyone coordinated was our greatest difficulty because we were trying to coordinate each other while at the same time trying to work on our stuff. So it would have been easier, like your idea. Like if you had just one person be like, okay, you do this.
you do
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Or
Yeah,
Organize
and
more the team.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, and as well, I think one of our principal misses was that we did not question ourselves if this project was going to change the actual situation, or if it was just going to make conscious in people.
we
or
didn't know our
awareness.
specific goal, if it was trying to change a person or how they spoke or referred to an LGBT person.
Yeah.
We should have implemented another strategies to make a bigger change of the one we already created.
Yeah, because the interviews were nice, but and they did create a change in some people, but a lot of the times they didn't really. So yeah, some bigger things, some bigger changes would have been nice too. Yeah, I guess that's one of the main takeaways we have here. That's one of the main things we learn in relation to how we have to handle a campaign. We have to think about how our actions will actually create meaningful impact.